and Ashley Robinson. Ashley Robinson is the athletics director at Jackson State University and is joining us in person today. First of all, great to see you. It's been a little while.
It's been a while. I think it's been about 3 years now.
Yeah. You've had a lot going on in the last year or so.
Yes, it's been a lot going on. I'm gonna say the last 3 years, but the last year it's really been a lot going on. It's some very exciting things going on at Jackson State University, from our president on to our football coach and to different hires and different things we've done to enhance Jackson State University. And that's what it's all about: enhanced experience for our student athletes on and off the court. And for all our students, not just our student athletes, we're here to help and to grow Jackson State on both sides.
Actually, let's start with the reason that we're here today. This unveiling from the good folks at KLLM Transport Services, these beautiful tractor trailers.
Right.
You got one in front of us from Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Southern Miss, and Jackson State as well. But you want to talk about a statement. You pull up to a stadium on the road, or you see that truck rolling down the highway. I mean, that is a rolling billboard, and they just look spectacular.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks to KLLM, I mean, this is a very, very big deal for us. We're very, very excited about it. This is something that really takes you to a whole nother level. You're talking about eyeballs. You're talking about recruiting. You're talking about marketing, media. I mean, this is a big deal. And, we love to see things. And now, as every weekend, you can see Jackson State University traveling. You can see that great logo. You can see our legends. As you see, we put our 4 Hall of Famers on there as well. Late Coach W.C. Gordon, one of our greatest Hall of Fame coaches, one of the best coaches in the state of Mississippi.
No doubt.
That came out. So, very excited about it.
And you told me just a little while ago you were, FaceTiming with your coach, right? He was pretty excited about it.
I pulled up and I said, Coach, look at this. So I was FaceTiming Coach Prime, and he was very, very excited. He saw it. And it's so detailed. I mean, it's detailed to the mud flaps. You see the block logo on it. So, he's a very, very detailed guy, if anybody know Coach Prime. So we did a really, really good job. Our marketing director, James Motley, did a really good job designing that truck. And it honors our heritage and our tradition at Jackson State University.
You guys are about to go through your second football season of 2021. One of the few schools in the country that's got to try to pull that off. How do you feel about that? How do your student athletes feel?
I feel really good about it, and our student athletes feel really, really good about it. And hiring a new coach in December, playing his first game in February, 2 months out, I think it was really good to really get that start with hiring a new coach. So and we got some games in. I mean, we played more games than anybody in the spring. We had scheduled 7 games. I think we played 6, and we only missed 1. So we did really, really good with that. The main thing was the safety piece. We put a lot of things in place to ensure that our student athletes are safe. I tell people it's no COVID-19 free environment, but our jobs is to make sure my kids said they wanted to play football, they wanted to play sports, so we had to do what we had to do at administration to make sure make sure things were safe for them to play.
Actually, take me back to December. And you make this decision, you work with the president, you work with Deion Sanders, you get to a spot where everybody's on the same page, and you make this announcement that grabs headlines all over the country,
right,
and shines an incredibly bright light on Jackson State. What do we not know about that process?
Jackson State, has a rich tradition.
No doubt.
4 Hall of Famers, more Hall of Famers than anybody in the state of Mississippi. Has over 100 players get drafted to the NFL, 16 national championships, HBCU championships. So, we have a rich tradition in football, and we've been down for a while. We've been down, I think the last championship is 2009. So we had to make a big hire here. I sat down with President Hudson, and he told me, hey, you go out, and I want you to bring the best candidate to me. To make my recommendation to him during that time, and this was August, September. We sat down and made this decision, and we talked about it. And it's funny how things play out. We made the announcement on September the 21st. As you know, Coach Prime is 21. So, things just happen. It happened, and talking to him during this process, first time talking to Coach Prime was he knew the tradition of Jackson State University. And that was very, very big, for us and for me, and knew all the coaches. He had reached out to all the Hall of Famers. Had conversations with them. He really wanted to be at Jackson State University. And that to me was big. First time talking to a coach. And it wasn't me calling him for an interview. It was me calling to see if he had any interest. And he gave me 30 minutes about Jackson State University.
How about that?
And that from that conversation on, we continued to grow and continue to talk, and then it was, you know, making some decision times, and met with my president, and he gave me the approval to make it happen, and we made it happen. And Coach Prime has really done a really good job of changing the culture and getting back to that tradition. You know, our theme is building on tradition, blazing new trails, and we're going to build on our tradition, and we're going to continue to blaze new trails.
Visiting with Ashley Robinson. He's the athletics director at Jackson State. When you look, I need you to help me understand this, but this is ignorance on my part, and forgive me if it's a bad question, but I do think there are other people that maybe don't understand it. You mentioned the HBCU championships, and the SWAC champion plays in the Celebration Bowl.
Right.
Was there a conscious decision somewhere along the way that SWAC teams were going to be involved in that as opposed to participating in the FCS playoffs? Are the FCS playoffs an option if you so chose to go down that route? How does that work?
Well, we do have an option. We have opted out as a conference of the FCS playoffs to create a bowl game. I think the bowl game experience it puts you on the level of the Power Fives. Everybody wants to play in a top bowl game. You know, when you look at the playoffs, it's from a revenue standpoint and an exposure standpoint. I think the bowl game gives you that exposure. You got that. You got a sponsor of ESPN. You have you on CBS and ESPN, and you're the first bowl game. We kick off the first bowl game every single year. Yeah. So during that time, you know, I think it was a great decision. Our commissioner Charles McCullough has done a really good job. We have just extended that contract and the revenue and that week. You know, I think bowl games are a big recruiting tool for football. If you had opportunity to go to bowl games, I know you have, but just the way they treat the student athletes that week, the experience piece.
Is there a scenario where you could do both?
It's a scenario where you can have a team that's you know, a top team in our conference that goes to the SWAC championship. Say they might be undefeated in the year and won some good non-conference games, but they lost the SWAC championship. So it's an opportunity for them to get a bid. As you know, they just added, like, I think six to that. Right. So it's an opportunity to get a bid as well. So it could be a possibility. And I think we had that, I want to say, in the MEAC maybe 2 or 3 years ago, where we had a team to get a bid, and they still played in the conference, still played in the Celebration Bowl. So there is an opportunity for that.
Ashley Robinson visiting with us, athletics director at Jackson State. I would love to give you the opportunity. There was obviously some stuff that happened a couple of days ago earlier this week. Is there any clarity that you can add to what I think has been described as a little bit of a mix-up?
I can give you a clarity. We never walked out of press conference. We had a virtual press conference, and the last question was, you know, Dion, and it was Dion twice. So for us, we're going to remain professional when it comes to representing Jackson State University. When it comes to the media, we love the media, and I want everybody to know that you can't do anything without the media. Ashley Robinson, Jackson State University, we love the media, but you know, it's just some things that happen. But it was a great week. It was a great week for Jackson State. I think our kids did a really good job. 2 individuals that we brought with us to represent. So we had some things to happen. Any time, you know, that you can say something about Coach Prime, everybody think they're going to get the headlines. So we're going to remain professional and make sure we represent Jackson State in the best professional way.
Level of excitement about this football season. You told me just a moment ago that we can't call it fall camp. It's not. There's nothing fall about it. Training camp,
we want
summer
you on board
camp.
With that. We're going to get all 4 of the athletic directors today on board.
Just plain old camp, but it starts August 2nd. Then it gets here in a hurry.
Yeah, in a hurry. Definitely in a hurry for us. This year was where we had a lot of challenges with. We did 16 sports in the spring this year. So we was going from February to May and
a great baseball season.
Oh yes, great baseball season. 8 championships this year, by the way. Wow. Regular season, women's basketball tournament champion, men's basketball regular season, volleyball regular season and NCAA first round, baseball Eastern Division champion, softball Eastern Division champion. So then we had our women's tennis team to win the regular season as well. So, and we had 3 teams to go undefeated in the conference. Yeah. So Exciting, very exciting. Our kids stepped up to the challenge
and trying to get to that championship level of football as well.
Right, and that's the goal. We're gonna continue. And by the way, we didn't only do a great job on the field. Graduation rates are 88%. Very proud about that. APR, one of the best in the conference. So we're doing a great job on and off the field, and we have a lot of work to do, a lot of improvement to do. I tell my academic advisors and compliance staff, 88% is not perfect, so we still got a lot of work to do.
Got work still to do, and a beautiful tractor-trailer billboard rolling up and down the interstates en route to football games. Thanks so much for being with us today.
And thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. You all do a great job.
Thank you. Ashley Robinson, Athletics Director at Jackson State. We'll be back with more coming to you from Trustmark Park.